Coach Edwards?
Yes, sir.
What have your conversations been like with the group that's already in the locker room, the members of the teams?
The players?
Yeah.
Yeah, well, I addressed them early, about 2 weeks ago probably, and told them to rest assured that when I first addressed them, I said there's not going to be that many changes. Well, lo and behold, we get a couple guys that become head coaches, right? And I said, so, okay, now what do you do, right? But I think with that being said, going forward, a couple of them, as you know, came to the press conference. A couple of them called me when the changes were made due to the fact that we had a guy to elevate. And when a guy elevates, I'm going to let him go. When you have young coaches, whether it's at this profession or obviously in professional football, you want guys to elevate. You're going to lose coaches. That's just the deal. That's just part of it. That's part of coaching. You want young coaches. I left Tony Dungy, all right? Lovie Smith left Tony Dungy. Rod Marinelli left Tony Dungy. Mike Tomlin left Tony Dungy. It just happens. And you don't panic as a coach. You just say, okay, there's a lot of other coaches out there that we can hire. It was an easy hire for me with Rob. I knew exactly where I was going. It wasn't like, well, what are we going to do? I called him. It's simple. I said, I got a guy. I'm good. I mean, some people get nervous. I don't get nervous about that stuff, guys. It's not nerve-wracking to me. It's part of the profession. I've been in this profession for 30 years. You just get it. You want guys to elevate. You want your coaches to elevate and have opportunities. That's part of the deal. The sad part for these high school young men, a lot of times they go to the university because of the coach. I get that part. And it's kind of sad that coaches elevate and leave. That's why you better like the university. That's kind of important too, and I tell them that all the time. I think a lot of these young guys, I told them this is what's going to happen. I told their parents that. I stayed true to who I am. A lot of these parents don't know me. They see me on television. And when I walk into their home, they say, you know what, Coach? You're the same guy. Yeah, I can't change. I got to be me. And so with that, I don't panic. I don't panic. For what? I played in Philadelphia, by the way. I coached in New York. You think I'm going to panic? I don't panic. There's always a plan. You got to have a plan. You got to know coaches are going to leave. Players get hurt. What do? They kick the ball in the NFL at 1 o'clock. We kick it off at what time here? 7:30 at night, they're going to kick it off. I need 11 guys to go cover the kick. That's what you do. Because when you panic, then everybody else panics. I'm not going to panic. You make good decisions. You make wise decisions. We've gone through this methodically as far as hiring coaches. We will have a really good staff here. We will have a good football staff here. Some of the guys have already committed. I can't mention who they are at this point in time. You'll know who they are here shortly. We're going to be fine.
So now you look at this class, half of it is on the defensive side, with no defensive coordinator named yet, position of coaches in flux.
I'm the defensive coordinator, by the way.
Okay. Thank you, Coach. But I mean, after that challenge is monumental. I mean, you talk about putting line of faith in someone, and it looks like a lot of players did answer that call. I mean, can you kind of walk through the process? I mean, how challenging, or maybe it wasn't really that challenging for those players that committed, 2, 3, sometimes 5 months ago, to commit now without knowing who the coaches are going to be?
I think it's about the relationship with our university and the people in it. At this level, you're going to have great coaching. I know that they're going to hire great coaches, and I think the players had faith in Coach Edwards that he's going to hire a great staff. How many different defenses can you run? So there's only 3 or 4 defenses you really can run. So the guys that we recruited, that we're going to find a place for them, and they knew that. So I think they had faith in what we're doing. But I think one thing about when I recruit these guys and our coaches, I tell these guys, I said, it's not about the coach, it's about the university. In 10 years and 20 years, when you walk out of Tillman Tunnel, there won't be a coach in there. But all those players are aligned, they're former players that played for Arizona State. And I think that that's the most important thing for any of our recruits to understand, is that they're coming to Arizona State. And one of our players, current players, Zeno Benjamin, I asked him a year ago, I said, why Arizona State? Why not Texas? When their coach had got there, and he said to me, Coach, I envision if football wasn't here, would I still want to go to school here? And I think that's important. That's one of those stories I share with all those recruits.
Donnie, do you see adding a quarterback in this next by February class?
I think that if there was a quarterback that fits us and is available, that's a possibility. It's not It's not a prerequisite or requirement, but I think if there was one that fit us and that was available.
Donnie or Herm, what would you say are the most pressing needs moving forward in the next 6 weeks?
Oh, I would say, you know, it's still about recruiting. The coaching staff will be hired. We've got guys that will probably have this thing done by Friday. It's then coming together as a staff. We kind of know what our philosophy will be on offense. I told Coach, I said, now we got all these backs. When we're on the 2-yard line, we're not throwing the pass, are we? Yeah, so, we okay, Coach?
Yeah, just don't tell him to kill that.
Yeah, okay. All right. I take care of it. I had him early. I had him in the unarmed game. He's going to get a lot of balls. He's going to be fine. So, you know, it's really for the staff coming together, and that's what I'm waiting for everyone to get here so we can finally have a staff meeting and then set Journey on to continue to recruit. You know, that's our lifeblood. It's recruiting. You got to recruit players. And I think the longer I sit with Donnie and his guys, we're starting to formulate our DNA, you know, the kind of guys that I would like to be a part of this program. You know, scouting's about defining who you are, and we got to define who we are. I think we have a pretty good idea of who we are on offense. I think defensively, it might change a little bit. But the players here will fit. Look, coaching's about this. Coaching's about massaging your system to the players. 90% of the players that play football at any level, they are system needy. System needy. I've never been a coach to say it's my system. No, the system's the players. And when you have the players, it's up to you as a coach to massage your system so they can be successful. We've gone after some guys, you can see it right now. They've been defensive guys, okay? There's a reason for that. And we're going to continue to go after some more defensive guys, and we'll get some offensive guys. But right now, you know, we went after some guys. We went after some guys in the back end that can help us, that can come in right now and play. We'll continue to do that. And so that's the philosophy right now of what we're trying to do.
Yeah, you know, I think one of your questions were, you know, I think the emphasis on who we're recruiting, what we're going to do position-wise. You know, I think, you know, we're still recruiting offensive linemen. I think that's a priority for us. I also think, you know, if you're still recruiting the back end, trying to improve that as well. And if you can find a great interior defensive lineman, that would be a plus, and obviously a linebacker. So we're looking at the whole deal. We're gonna find the best 10 players we can find that fit us and fit our systems. And like Coach says, he's going to adjust the system to his players, and I think that's important for these guys that are already committed.
Herm, what did you enjoy most about recruiting these last few weeks, getting back in it?
Just walking into the homes and watching the parents, the excitement in their eyes about their son making a big decision. One of the biggest decisions he's going to make as a student athlete of what university he's going to attend. We were humbled, and I was humbled by the fact that I was invited to their home. And I know what this is all about. I got recruited. In the days that I got recruited, you could take as many visits as you want. There was no limit. You could go anywhere you want, and I went on a bunch of them, trust me. And eventually you look at this guy, you look at that child in the eye, like that young man in the eye, and you can see there's this joy, you know, that he's going to get to go to college and live out his dream of being a college athlete. Some of them want to go further than that, obviously. But how the parents are so thankful that whether it was us or anybody else would come in their home to recruit their son. I mean, it's a big day for a lot of people. Look, it changed my life. I mean, if I wasn't a good athlete, I was probably going to junior college. You know, it makes a difference. For a lot of these kids, you walk in their home and you realize this will be maybe the first person in their family to go to college and to receive a degree. I was that guy. I get it. That story doesn't change a whole lot, and it changes people's lives. It really does. When they look at their son and go, my son is going to go to college. My mom was a German war bride. She didn't finish the 8th grade. My father joined the Army at 17 years old. I am the first college graduate. I get that. You know, that doesn't change. Whether you're in football or out of football. That's life. That's big, man. You walk in that family's home and their eyes are bright and they see you and they say, Coach, you know, and now a lot of different things on the menu at these homes. And whatever they served, I was eating. But other than that, it's a joy. It really is, because I know what's going through that family. I know what they're thinking. You know, that's the fun of it.
Best meal you had?
They're all good. Every one of them was good. I haven't had a bad meal yet going on a recruiting trip.
What's your biggest sales pitch that you think influences parents, athletes, and
That I got their son. I got him. I got him. And when he sits in that dorm room that first night at 12 o'clock, and mom and dad are not there, I got him. I told every parent, you have my phone number, and you call me. Because a week's going to go by and he ain't going to call you anymore. He's going to go on this campus, he's going to say, woo, look at this place. I said, you call me. You call me, and when you call me, I'm going to get him. I'm going to grab his neck, say, come on in my office. Call mama. Every single one of these parents with these kids signed, they have my phone number. And I said, you call me anytime you want. And when you want to call me, and you don't want your son to know, he won't know. That's important to me. Very important.
Can you talk a little bit about why you wanted Rob to be your offensive coordinator when Billy left, and then also adding Gabe Christensen to your staff?
Smooth transition for the players. It was seamless. You know, I'm all about the players. Our offense was really pretty good last year, and I understood that. And it was an easy transition. I watched him from afar. Look, I met him when I went up to Cal and spoke to him, to the team. He was one of the coaches there with Jared Goff and those guys. I watched that. I watched that offense. I went to Cal before I went to San Diego State, by the way. Okay, so it was an easy transition for me. It was smooth for the players, you know, because you got something going good and you're going, all right. Look, I wanted to keep Phil, but I understood Phil had some health issues. You know, he's been away. Look, his wife was living in Texas for a whole year. You know, and he said, Coach, I can't. Oh, fine. But this was easy. And so I think when you keep things in order, the players kind of go, we don't have to learn anything different, right? Defensively, hey, we're going to be who we are. I get that. We'll adjust. The coaches will have to adjust to the players. That's easy on defense. You know, we keep saying, well, who the coordinator is going to be, as Donnie said. I told all those kids, I said, you know the guy you're talking to, he knows, I don't know a lot about football, a little bit. I think we'll be okay on defense. And so all the kids looked at me and said, Coach, we know what you're saying. I said, yeah, don't worry, I got it. So I just think offensively we were good. Special teams-wise, we're good. So maybe the faces change on offense at certain positions. The system's in good hands with this man. So that was easy for me.
And Coach Christensen, can you talk about him?
Know about him from afar. A lot of good things. He's been a head coach, obviously. Helped here last year. Did a lot of evaluation for these guys. And so that's another easy transition, especially with the offensive lineman. You know, he knows these guys. So they're comfortable. Say, this is the guy that's been here all year. He's been a part of this. So it's a smooth transition. When you talk about a coordinator that's been involved in the play calling, you got an offensive guy that's coached the offensive line, that has evaluated the offense. That's what he did last year. And he's been a coach. He's a ball coach. So it was smooth. It was easy.
Anyone else?
Good.
All right, thanks for
Thank you. It was easy.
Thank you.
You didn't get any questions, man. Goodness gracious.
You know, I will say one thing about Dave. We wanted to be very particular who we put in front of those kids. Like Coach was saying, it's all about the kids. About 10 years ago, I went and visited Missouri when I was a coach at another place because they had it rolling on offense. Right. So I had a chance to watch him coach. So I've seen him coach, and I've sat down with him before, and I've talked football with him. So I already knew that he was a really good coach. And then this year, I had the opportunity to watch him go about his daily life, okay? So there's no questions about what type of person, his character, and all that stuff. You know, when we would be up here at 11 o'clock at night, and he's not really getting paid to do anything, and he's sitting up there with us talking ball just because he loves football and he wants to be around it. So it was kind of a no-brainer.
Yeah, and you know, and you're talking about when he was with Missouri. I was with the Chiefs, so you know, and you're right. They had a fantastic offense. They were really good. So
yep,
yeah. it's smooth transition right now. Everything is going good. We're good.
What do you think just of this facility that you're coming in, you had chances to look around the building more now since we saw you last? What do you just think of it?
No, it's fabulous. There's no doubt about that. You can get everything you need done. You know, I'm a big believer in, you know, and I understand that's for recruiting. You know, the facilities, the kids love the swag, they love all the stuff, and I get all that. These buildings have never won a game. Buildings don't win games. Good players and good coaches win games. And I say that, I learned that from Tony when we were in Tampa. That old building we had, we said, first thing we said, it wasn't very nice. It was old. I mean, it's been there for ages. The meeting room was a locker room. Imagine that, pro football. The meeting room was a locker room. We had to pull down the shade like this, so you could put the film up there. And the first thing we said when we walked away, I was assistant head coach, we got to win in this building. We got to win here. We got to show the players buildings don't win. They help you, but they don't win. It's about the players and the coaches. That's who wins football games. But this is a great facility. I mean, if you walk in here as a student athlete, you can go to anyone in the country. This matches them all. And I've been to a bunch of them. And this is first class all the way. There's no doubt about it.
You coach what I think is the deepest and most talented group of, in the conference.
Yeah.
But to have to leave that group and go to the quarterbacks now, can you talk about that transition?
Yeah, you know, those are my babies, my boys. I put a lot of heart and soul into coaching those guys. So, going to be a little bit slower with that hire because we got to find the right guy. Because those guys are talented. There needs to be some. A couple guys need to mature in that group a little bit, you know. So it's going to be very important who we choose to put in front of those guys. But one of the things I want to do a little bit more than maybe we've done in the past is we'll meet together a little more than what we have been. So we're all going to be able to speak the same language from quarterback to receiver, and we'll be on the field together, quarterback, receiver. So we'll be all right. I'll still have my hand in it.
They're receivers. They're like 7-Eleven. They're always open. In their mind, they're always open. They're a headache. They're always
They're
open.
always open.
They're always open.
There's one right there.
Yeah.
He's still that way.
Yeah, he's still that way. Coach, I'm open. Got double cut. Coach, I can get Tony Gonzalez. Coach, I'm open. Tony, I know. We'll get it to you. Yeah, don't worry about it. Always open.
Herm, are you expecting to lose any players to the NFL?
Ooh, I don't know. We've talked to 3 guys that I think might have the ability to do that. I counseled them, told them the truth, and I think that I'll never stop a player. I'll just tell him where he's at right now, and you know, when they get evaluated, this is what it looks like. That's part of the process. So you know it. You know, you lose guys early. I mean, it's we're more lucky than those basketball guys. I know that. Because those guys, and I know a bunch of them that are the one and done guys. They tell me all the time, Coach, we don't worry about it. We know they're not going to be here. Let them play good while they're here. We got to get another guy. You know, so that's part of it.
Thanks, everyone.
Right. Thank you. Thank you, guys.